All right, here we go. Good morning. GM, everybody. GM, thank you for showing up super early here. We're getting going, bringing up our speakers, and we will get started as soon as possible. Hey, everyone, pop it in. Good morning. Please be patient as we get everyone up and going, and we'll get started here shortly. In the meantime, make sure to check the pin tweet for instructions on entering the chance to win bloody faces and whitelist spots. Make sure you follow us here on Twitter, retweet the event, tag 3 friends, and make sure to ask a question here during the live broadcast. And we'll get started here shortly. Thank you, guys. Hey, there we got one man in the house. How you doing, man?
Hey, there we go. G'day, everyone. Good evening, good morning, wherever you may be. I see we've got a few people in the house already. I think Will's in too there, so hopefully he'll be jumping up soon.
Absolutely. We got Logan. How you doing? I said good morning. I was gonna say good morning, but who knows? We're international.
Good day or good night. Hello, everybody.
Good day.
How are you going, Logan?
Really good. And you? How's everything going?
Yeah, fantastic over here, mate. And thank you so much for joining us. We're just waiting. I think we got Will in now too, don't we, Will?
We've got Will T in. That was me.
There you go. Yeah, we got him on. Fantastic. All right, so we'll be started in just a second. We're just making sure that we wait another minute or two until a few more people come in, and we'll get going. But in the meantime, Will, how you going, mate?
Very well, brother. Very well. Had a long weekend with my little one, so a little tired, but generally wonderful. How you doing?
Yeah, all good over in this neck of the woods, mate. And Logan, whereabouts are you dialing in from, brother? Oh, seems Logan, you're. I think you've got your mic muted there.
Sorry, guys. I'm back. Sorry. I had a little delay with my computer, so I turned into the phone. So I'm back. Sorry about
That's all
that.
right. Hey, I think we've all had that problem. Well, I'll tell you what. Well, why don't we get it started? And Logan, why don't we give you the floor and give you a chance to introduce yourself? Obviously, we're here for the AMA with Black Eye Galaxy, and thank you so much for coming on. But for everyone that may or may not know anything about you guys, why don't you spend a couple of minutes explaining exactly what you guys do?
Okay, thanks for the space. First of all, hello everybody. My name is Logan. My real name is Pablo. I'm the CMO of Black Eye Galaxy. We are a project that started in July of 2021. We're a little small project, but with great heart and great expectations. So this is like a really great deal for everybody. Black Eye Galaxy is an NFT game about metaverse, spaceships, space, planets, racing, fight, everything. So this is like a really huge concept. Also, we are like sci-fi. We have robots, civilizations, aliens, and everything. So we are building like a crazy game here. By the next month, we are developing our racing game that I show in a demo on Friday. So I think this is also a huge concept because in here, like we are aiming to create tournaments, free-to-play versions, and everything. So this is going to be huge. I'm hoping that Will can join me one day so we can race and like bet some beer. Well, this is it. This is awesome. Thank you for inviting me here. I think I remember I met Will on December last year. Well, this is like a long time friendship that we are building here. So yeah, I'm happy to be here.
It's fantastic, and thank you so much for coming along. And I've been having a little look around on the website and digging into you guys today, and it's such an exciting project. And I was listening in on the AMA the other day where you said you were going to race Will for Pink Slip, so I can't wait to see the Twitch stream on that one. So that's going to be fantastic. And Will, obviously, as the CEO of Fight Legends, you've partnered here with Black Eye. So why don't I give you the floor as well to sort of explain what the partnership is that's going on here?
Yeah. Look, I definitely look forward to racing. I can't wait to race for pink slips or beer, whatever it is. So this partnership, look, it's important for NFT projects and game projects to partner up with as many good projects as they can, right? It's important we share amongst our communities because that's the type of space we're in. You know, we're in a very, very rapidly growing space. It's not like we have to fight over territory. There's more new territory in the time we're fighting over our territory being produced than the territory we're fighting over, right? So like, there's no point fighting with our fellow crypto people. It's about collaborating and synergizing as much as we possibly can. But with Black Eyed Galaxy, what's fun about this is this sort of the gamification of our partnership, right? Because we're both building really cool games, there's cross IP opportunities and there's game opportunities, just having like CEOs and CMOs and people representing each game, playing each other in each game, you know, and giving away prizes and engaging the community. These are all extra things that I guess a lot of, you know, PFP partnerships, traditional PFP, say traditional, the space is really new, but traditionally PFP partnerships are more one-dimensional, right? It's like, oh, we're giving away this NFT, like, follow, retweet. That's about it. You know, maybe a spaces together. But we have the opportunity to go a lot further with each other, which is really cool. Yep.
Fantastic, mate. Yeah, sorry, I think we've got a little bit of lag here, but so tell me now, you guys, like I said, we were in the AMA the other day, and you're talking about you know, working with other projects, which I think is absolutely brilliant in this space, especially when you think about, you know, influencers and I believe, like, you know, influencers didn't really even start until the YouTubers started doing cross videos and all those sorts of things. So it's great to see that you guys have pinpointed that, and I couldn't agree anymore. So yeah, what's next for Fight Legends? Does that mean we're getting a solar system, or what's happening there?
Yeah, I think we're going to probably have some space in the Black Eyed Galaxy. I think we're going to brand a car. We're looking at basically any fun, innovative, engaging ways that we can cross over. I think Black Eyed Galaxy will definitely be appearing on some billboards in our stages. And we might be able to integrate some, you know, some artwork on fighters, and there might be some other fun stuff we can do as well, you know, like subtle things, kind of Easter eggy things in the background that sort of connect universes. I really like the concept of that. Black Eyed Galaxy fits really well with our universe. You know, we're sort of multiverse, fighting through the multiverse, all possible dimensions, and these are galaxies. They've got their own universe. It just kind of fits in and vibes really well. So yeah, I think there's a few things we can do. I believe a chunk of that will be getting a hold of Black Eyed Galaxy planets, stars, and giving them away to our community and their community. Sort of a bit of engagement there.
Yeah, right. And so obviously we've been talking a lot about Bloody Faces lately and all the extra perks and things that they've been getting within our project. Logan, is there something like that within your project where, you know, you sort of have that inner circle?
Yeah, I personally would love to have a planet with Will's name, and there we can host like fights from from bloody faces and everything. So this is can be a huge deal for both of us because we can create like this cross chain that we are already aiming to create. So yeah, totally yes. Let's go for it.
Fantastic.
That's
Now,
what-
obviously, sorry, Will, you go,
sorry,
mate.
sorry, Wombat. Yeah, because there's a function. Correct me if I'm wrong, whereby there's rewards distributed in Black Eyed Galaxy that would utilize Fight Coin, the token. Is that right?
Yep. 100% truth. What we can aim here is like, for example, in the future, we are developing a fighting method where you can fight another ship, and instead of winning BYG or a reward token, maybe they can get a fight token. For example, we can attack the convoy from Fight Legends, and then you get rewards from Fight Legends. So this concept can be huge.
That's a very cool innovation. I love that.
Yeah, that's amazing, especially just for crossing over the platforms and the games themselves. I mean, we're only just talking about earning in games, and now here we're already talking about possibly earning another another ecosystem's coin in other games, which is just it's just fantastic. So maybe Logan, why don't you tell us more about, mate? I'm just looking at the website and it blows my mind. I mean, for any sort of sci-fi fan out there, Star Wars, Star Trek, anything like that, if you're in the NFT space, it's definitely something that you want to check out. But from your point of view, what does partnering with Fight Legends do for your brand, and what are you looking for the partnerships, coming along into your space?
Yeah, I think like the the best thing that Fight Legend has that I also love it is like this concept about creating a fight space. It's like the first game I see that you can recreate like a real life fighter and fight to each other, and I love that concept. I love Will's background about MMA and everything. So yeah, that's the really first thing that I thought that hey, I love this project. Let's try to promote it and make them to grow. I think like this is our first idea or concept of from Black Eye Galaxy to help like crazy ideas, crazy projects that have a lot of potential. So that's like my first idea and answer about like joining Fight Legends.
Well, that's music to my ears. That's beautiful to hear, and obviously you've already had your coin release, and it's been on the market. You've actually had that, I believe, since last August, isn't it?
Yep. We deployed our first sales, our idol on July, and then our first planets on August. In August, sorry.
Yeah, wow. And I was kind of going through a little history on the charts, and for a project where we're just going into those stages of release, audio release, where I was just having a look at your charts, and it was kind of amazing to see because it was, maybe sort of 3 or 4 months later, but the price just absolutely exploded out of nowhere. What did that do for you guys?
Yeah, like a lot of stress. I think like the first thought that we had when the price pumped so hard because we were like just starting the team and like creating and recreating all the ideas that we have. So here I have to thank all the devs. Like they work really hard to catch up with every idea because this is not so easy to do. We started with crazy ideas like, hey guys, we need to create civilization. Hey guys, we need to create reputation system. Hey guys, we need to create a racing game. And the poor devs like didn't have enough manpower and also enough time. So here is like they work so hard and they catch up with everything. So I think like in a couple of weeks we are like deploying everything. So this is going to be huge. Yeah.
And Will, that must sound pretty familiar to you, mate.
Yeah, always pushing everyone to pump it as hard as possible.
And so obviously, with these partnerships also comes, all these great ideas and also this advice as well. So, Will, what are we sort of looking here for from Black Eye Galaxy? There's so many things that we can actually learn here too, isn't there?
yeah, I think like whenever you're discussing things with people and working with people, like advice seeps through. Like we are all learning as we're building. I think a little bit because I don't think there's anyone in this space that understands the entire space to the nth degree, right? Like, so yeah, there's always lessons to be learned from experience. It's very, very, very new. So yeah, I think I can't give you a specific, but but it's always helpful having partners, right? We all learn from each other. We always get ideas. You glean, you get inspired from each other, and you have those cautionary tales where someone's like, "Oh, we did this. You guys probably shouldn't do that." And that's, I mean, I've had so many of those conversations. I can't even remember which one of our partners have had specific ones, but dozens and dozens and dozens and dozens of examples of, hey, don't do this, or hey, don't do that, or hey, you should probably look into this. It just comes, everyone shares so openly. It's a really special space like that. The support, I haven't met a bad egg in this space. Like everyone is helpful, everyone is supportive pretty much. You know, like there's scam projects, but no one's looking to them for support. When you're working with real people, it's just all love. It's great.
Yeah, and to that point, I'm wondering when it comes to cross chain, and we're talking here about cross project, reaching out to people and working together with other projects and stuff like that. What do you guys think about the cross chain idea? Like lots of these projects, especially in the past, obviously were chain central, but in the future, it looks like that is not going to be the case. It's just going to be a wide open Web3. How do you guys see that going, and how will our games be implemented into that web version of Web3, do you think?
Personally, I see for us, our most likely strategy is that we utilize the whatever's the best in the field in regards to a third party service for that, right? Like integrating a cross chain gateway or something. Bringing all the chains into our game is tech our team doesn't have to develop because other people are developing things there. So for us, it's like an inevitable future. I think in the future, like the further forward you go, the more likely the outcome is that all the majority of significant chains are usable in any product, right? People mainstream need seamless integration. They don't want to have to flip things around, and like that's very old school, right? Like so that's like converting things from one currency to another currency and then being able to spend it. We just want to be able to go there and spend. We don't want to have to think about it as a consumer. As the mainstream consumers don't want to, and so inevitably everything will be cross chain in the end. I think that's my opinion.
Logan, any thoughts?
I agree 100% what Will said. Is like, yeah, we need to adapt at every outcome that we have. It's crazy. I know that devs will kill me if I tell you, hey guys, we need to develop in every single chain as possible. But yeah, I think that we need to be always receptive of what's going on in the world and to always keep connected and try to do our best to stay on soon.
Absolutely, love it. All right, well, make sure everyone to request a spot to speak and ask a question that will help you enter to win our NFT whitelist spot or an actual Bloody Faces NFT. Again, make sure you're following us here on Twitter, retweet this event, tag your friends, and ask a question during this event, and we'll get you a whitelist spot or again that NFT. Thank you again, Logan, for being here, and let's see if anyone has any requests. Oh, I thought I saw one, but it looks like they are not here anymore, so we will move on for now.
Don't be shy, guys. Plenty of people in the room. It's all good. Come up and have a chat. We won't bite, I promise. So Logan, what have you noticed lately with the NFT space, especially with the last month or so of the turmoil that's hit the crypto market? Does it really affect you? Like, how do you sort of navigate what goes on there?
Yeah, this is like a crazy thought. I'm like the Black Eye Galaxy technical analyst also, so I always help the team in order to, hey guys, invest in here. Hey guys, don't invest in here because something wrong is coming. I think like everything, markets go through storms. They go up, they go down, but they still like NFT markets of crypto world is like this. They are creating like this uptrend that is growing every day. So for me, and as we spoke the last AMA with Will, I think that NFT market is going to be huge, and probably we won't call it NFT market. We will call it like, hey, these are products. So I think like in the long term, we're like early bidders, but in short terms, yeah, and these crazy times that we are having, we are going to see some volatility. But yeah, I think like probably we are on the right side of the world right now in the way of being modern and creative.
Yeah, and what about you, Will? Obviously, with an IDO release about to come up, with the market doing what it's doing, and all the other factors that are at play, how does it affect the Fight Legends and the Fightcoin project?
Um, yeah, obviously, I agree with everything that was just said, and I mean, for us specifically, I guess when the market's volatile and scared, there is less of a boost. There's no boost. Well, look, if you're in crypto, you've got a boost. If you've got a great product and a good strategy and a good team, you're in a space that's already moves a lot faster than bricks and mortar, right? It's a lot easier to reach out to everyone and get support. There's still endless money in the space. One of the easiest things to do is get money in this space, right? And it's harder in a bear market um, than a bull market, right? Like it's when everything's running up, it couldn't be easier. It's the easiest thing in the world. But when everything's going down, it's a lot harder. But still not as hard as going out there and starting a cleaning business or a friggin' any almost anything in bricks and mortar, for as far as I can see, is a lot harder. I don't know if that's just me, but I think other people in the space would probably agree upon reflection. But as far as our IDO, look, the strategy around that is if you're in hard times, so you don't have the boost from a really positive market that's over driven towards your product, you have to drive that demand. You have to work with what you've got. Yeah, and so there's a lot of people still in crypto and a lot of people looking to continue investing and stay active. So we just need to grab all their attention, right? And so we've got a pretty decent market strategy being built. Will have we have the funding to cover that. We have an exceptional team and a really great product. And I think bringing all that together and just presenting it to the community and doing a good job of building that community all the way up to IDO and forevermore, I don't think it'll matter so much. I think we'll just be sort of one of the diamonds in the rough, right? I think most of the diamonds in the rough through a difficult market are going to be NFT related projects and specifically gaming related projects. People want to play games. We could go through a 3-year Great Depression. And guess what everyone's doing? They're playing games. And if they've got an opportunity to earn money while playing games in a depression, like a global depression, they're going to do it, aren't they? So the worse the global markets get, even the crypto market, there's certain ways that it applies upward pressure to the crypto gaming market. So we're all good.
Awesome. And it looks like we got a question here. Echo, go ahead.
Hey, what's going on, guys?
Doing great. Thanks for coming up. What are you
Thanks for
wanting to
having me.
know? Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm part of the Aurora community. It's one of the biggest gaming projects on Solana, and a couple of months ago they did a pretty big partnership with Team Solo Mid (TSM), and if you looked at the quoted tweets, you saw just straight FUD from people who don't really know what NFTs are. Like this sentiment about NFTs being a scam, this and that. How do you guys think we could, as a gaming community, you know, change the perception from the gamers about NFTs?
Um, that's such a great question. And before I answer that, you should give a nod to like all the people from what Web2 gaming or traditional gaming or outside of crypto, all those people that take that step should be congratulated and rewarded almost. Well, not they are getting rewarded, but like tip of the hat to those guys, right? Because they face that backlash. They're not from within the space. They're not out here in the space for years or whatever. They take a risk and take the step towards innovation, and they cop a lot of hate from the people who previously have shown them a lot of love. So it's a brave move for anyone like that to take, and so I deeply respect them for that. I'm very fortunate to be surrounded myself with some really incredible people taking that step. And it's insane to see. And so it's ever present in my mind as well, the backlash that they're going to face and how to handle the backlash. And that might be more of a PR community engagement type strategy, because it's public narrative. So you've got to play the public narrative game. But when it comes to convincing gamers that hate NFTs, which is most of them, to accept NFTs, I mean, there's two ways, right? And one is education. That has to be there. That's a constant. That has to be there. You have to always have education, but that doesn't do it. Education doesn't convince people. It's their feelings and emotions that convince them. That's where their belief systems exist. It's in the limbic part of their brain, which is like the oldest part of your brain. Um, that's where the base of all your opinions and decisions get made. They get rationalized in the front brain, but the decision's always already made subconsciously. And so we've got to speak to that part of their psychology, that part of their brain. We've got to make them love what we're making, regardless of the NFTs. Forget about the NFTs, forget about the crypto. Love our games. And if they love our games, then they accept the crypto. Look, to give an abstract point, look at Bored Ape Yacht Club. I guarantee most of those celebrities a year earlier were talking shit about crypto, or 6 months earlier were talking shit about NFTs. I would have heard about them and been like, oh, that sounds ridiculous, probably a scam. But give it time. Give them what do they love? They love status and they love brand equity, personal brand equity. And Bored Apes presented that. So they took it on board. Now they're all about NFTs. Right? Like it's if the gamers love our games, they will accept our NFTs. If the gamers are being forced games, NFT games with a fistful of education, they're just going to get their backs up and resist it. You see it in every dimension on Earth. The people resisting new information because their belief system is wired wrong, and so you have to speak to the belief system. That's how we'll do it.
Wonderful. Thank you for the question. It looks like we also have Ray John up. Before you ask your question, though, Logan, do feel free to go ahead and pin a couple tweets from the project if you're interested in doing that, so people can take a look at what you have going on. And while you're doing that, Ray John, feel free to unmute and ask your question.
Is this project have a support a scholarship program?
Oh, good, great question. Are you asking Logan or Will? Or both?
Logan.
Okay, Logan, go ahead.
Okay, yeah. About scholarship, right now with Black Eye Galaxy, we are working to users can, with like big whales with a lot of ships, can add users with emails and passwords so they can work out and move their ships. Like, for example, you can hire a pilot and that pilot can work out with 10 ships, and then it's like to be defined by the owner of the ships and the scholar on how much money he will get about it. This is on beta testing. I think by the following week we are almost finished all the testing, and also we are having like special users that know about scholarships games, so we are taking like their recommendations on what we need to fix and what not. So I think by middle of March, we are having the scholarship system fully deployed for Black Eye Galaxy.
Thank you.
Excellent. Yeah, thanks for the question. And don't forget, for those of you that are asking questions, make sure to retweet this event and tag your friends for a chance to get in on that IDO whitelist or get a Bloody Faces NFT. Looks like we got another request here from Warburn. Go ahead. Warburn, are you there?
Yeah, hi there. when would you sort of integrate in, developing a play to earn game? Obviously, the game is the priority, but the play to earn mechanics, obviously, they must be different for different types of games, and I just wonder how you come across and handle those aspects. I don't particularly have an answer for how you best approach it, but I just wondered what your thoughts around about incorporating play to earn mechanics and how easy or difficult that is, or what challenges there are. Thanks.
Logan, or Will, how about you answer this one first, and then we'll let Logan go.
Sure. I think the biggest challenge with that is long-term predictions. So just scaling, making sure developing long-term sustainable play-to-earn models that handle fluctuation really well and handle, potentially massive scaling is a challenge because it hasn't been defined. As you said, we haven't seen a great success story there. Axie's the greatest success story in play to earn, and they're currently handling a problem. So at this point, there's a lot of gleaning from the problem and trying to fix it before it occurs. So, abstractly, one major solution to play to earn games is to make sure you have a consumer base. Because if you zoom out and just dumb it down and go money in, money out, you need the money in can't solely be reliant on the money out. You need money in that isn't there to get money out. You have to have an increased percentage of consumers. Fortunately, the play to earn gaming market makes up like 0.1% or something even smaller of the overall gaming population, right? It's fucking tiny, 0.01% probably. And so, there's a lot of consumers out there. There's a lot of people used to spending on skins or used to spending on status, which are the whales of the free to earn economy. Most people will spend a little or play for free, and a very small percentage will spend a hell of a lot, and they just want to be seen as status symbols. They're not there to put $1 million in or 10 million into a game, which does happen as individuals, crazy as that may sound, but that and then get that back out of the game at 10x. They're there to just spend and have status. Others are there to play for fun, and they just want to have this skin or that skin or this character. They're not there to earn. Not everyone needs to be there to earn. And so it's important to have that in the blueprint. It's important to begin with that. Actually have to attach that to a very big machine. They have to change their big machine to incorporate more of that. So it's a difficult thing for them, but we're fortunate to come after that and be able to put that in early. But I think it's wise as well to really lean on tokenomics masters. There's some absolute geniuses in the space. Connecting with them and having them advise on tokenomics is really powerful. We'll also be employing data scientists and economists to make predictions and projections based on various scenarios and various growth scenarios to sort of mitigate any risk. And then we also sort of set a 3 or 4 month period where we can sort of test at a smaller scale any innovations we're developing in regards to tokenomics. So that'll be sort of the next four months from now, I guess. Those are important things to look at because there is the risk long term primarily. I think that's where the biggest risks are found.
And what about yourself, Logan? And I might just add as well, Warborn, thanks so much for you're always active in our community, mate. So I just wanted to give you a shout out, and obviously thanks everyone else for joining us today as well. So Logan, what did you think, mate?
Yeah, like my first thing here is like whenever you start a play to earn game so small, it's really volatile. So, for example, every reward will cost you like a lot of damage in your treasury. So yeah, this is really crazy how you need to approach it. I had like an awesome interview and some sort of advisors from the Central Land. They are from Argentina, so like they know a lot about the gaming and the play to earn ecosystem. And the first thing that we agree is like you need to create a game that the same as Will said is like you need to create a game that is not only about earning or winning money. It's like, hey guys, you need to play, you need to enjoy the game, have fun, have here, buy skins, do whatever you want, and if you want you can cash out and that's it. But still you need to create some sort of circular economy in order that the money flows is like more money that enters than more money that goes out. So it's a really hard equation to solve, but still it's like you need to create a game that is fun, by doing, and also that has contents. It's not like a click to earn that you need to click and that's it. It's no, it's like a game that you want to fight to another guy, to try your best to improve your skills in order to win. I think it's like a game with content and it's more beautiful, I think, and also great than a simple click to earn game. So the main thing here is like you need to approach a good game, a game with content, and a game that people wants to play and not to cash out.
Yeah, great. I think, they're excellent responses, and it was great to hear Will, you know, saying that obviously, once a game's developed, there's also that, we get used to the game development going into beta, but also the play to earn mechanics probably need to go into beta as well to be tested and to be sure that they're secure, robust, and there are no unintended effects. So I think, that's great to hear as well. And thank you both for your responses.
Thank you. That was a
Thank you.
great question.
Absolute legend, Warburn. Thanks, brother. Just a follow up on that, guys. Like normally in a normal business, you'll hear the saying all the time that sales solves all problems. But from what I heard there, it sounds like that you kind of have to handle and manage your growth rate. Is that something that you do, or is it just the same thing? Sales solves all problems.
Sales gives you better problems.
Yeah, I agree. Yep.
Oh, I mean, you're allowed to elaborate if you like.
I think that like you need to sell, yes, but you need to sell with a plan. It's like you don't have to give 1,000 NFTs without an economic plan behind, because probably you are going to crash the game. So uh, every sale needs to be led by a plan with fundamentals, with strategies and possible outcomes. So yeah, sales solves some problems, but also can get you deep in the mud. So it's like you need a strategy, I think, better than some sales.
Another example for people that might be interested to talk about is Thetan Arena. Not sure what happened there, but they released publicly and they had 7 million players on basically day one, hit 20 million like a week later, absolutely killed it. It's pretty good. I think I played about 4 hours of it between meetings, just sitting at my desk when I had those little gaps to unwind, 20 minutes here, 10 minutes there. I think I earned I can't remember what it was. It was good money. It was like for play to earn player, it was really good money. Like but now I believe the tokens at like 90% down from there, and it's kind of run away. And I don't know if I haven't seen any word on how to pull it back, and they're basically starting to have the problem that actually have had for a while. So it's just another cautionary tale, really, of what happens if you do not plan for how to handle massive growth. Because if you get everything, everything you're doing is designed to succeed, right? Everyone's building with the idea to succeed. But I don't know if everyone realizes that when success comes in this space at that level, it's tens of millions of people engaging all of a sudden, and serious economic movement. So, yeah, it definitely is. Sales is great, gives you great problems, but you want to think about those problems before you make the sales, I think.
Well, speaking of sales, there's some projects out there at the moment where the sales are through the roof and then you actually get to see the project. I mean, I don't really want to throw anyone under the bus, so I won't. But, you see those projects that have so much hype and so much money behind them, and you actually see the project and you see the product, and you're like, oh dear, what have I just done? How do you navigate that? I mean, there's so much happening in that space right now where basically an idea on a piece of paper has gotten so much money flooded in, but no one's really even knowing what the product is. So how do you navigate that situation?
I so to frame the situation even further, I think, well, just in my opinion on that situation is like you look at Bored Ape, right? And all it was a PFP project, anonymous team, giving you exclusive access to a toilet, right? Like that. That's it. That's all it was. And they built community and blah blah blah. The rest is history. But what that does, it sets a precedent where people trust hyped community building anonymous projects, right? Because we've seen them succeed. We've seen Bored Ape has a $5 billion valuation right now. That's insane success. And there's many other very, very successful projects that did the same thing. They don't have a flashy roadmap. They don't have a team you can talk to or that's doxed. They don't have really much utility. They have strong community, and that's it. And scammers, shit projects can just build community. You hire community builders. Like there's professional community builders in the world, and they can hire the artists. Like it's really easy to emulate in appearance what Bored Ape and Cool Cats and everyone else did. So that's the problem, right? Because that's goes, okay, well that's fair enough, and that's our environment that we're in. But now, 9 out of 10 projects that are the same are gonna be crap. They're just hyped rubbish. And even when they do succeed financially, they don't really, most of them are not building anything. They're certainly not raising $60 million and putting $60 million back into building and providing that value to build the industry that we're all here building. And like Pixelmon's like a really extreme example of that. Where the I don't know if everyone's seen that, but that's insane.
You don't want to throw anyone under the bus.
That's what you were thinking, isn't it? I'll call them out, freaking Pixelmon. They raised $70 million. It's just a kid, and he didn't. I don't know if he's a kid, a dude in his 20s, and he's yeah, he's. It looks like he got his art from somewhere, bought his art, in actually generating the art for the drop, didn't have anyone to do it or used Fiverr people, or just some crap, and delivered absolute rubbish. And like even the Pixelmon thing, like that's a pre-existing Minecraft add-on, right? So like it was just pulling pieces from all over the place, presenting it, and everyone's like, "Holy shit, Pixelmon! Fuck yeah, that should run!" Like that's a golden idea. If a serious team, if us or Black Eyed Galaxy were building Pixelmon, holy shit, I would expect stratospheric success. It's a sick game. Everyone wants to play a pixelated Pokemon game that's not a rug pull. But that dude's not going to spend 70. He went and addressed his community and was like, I believe he promised to put 10% or something. What it added up to was 10% of that into getting people to actually do the art and build the game. He's like, sorry, I fucked up. Here, I'm going to pay 5 million to these guys and 2 million to these guys. And then his wallet went around buying all these blue chip profile pic projects. But man, like if I was him, I'd be spending, almost all of that money on building the project. Reward the team and build, man. Like he could make $1 billion from what he's building if he was chose to build it. I've gone on a ramble there. But, what I would suggest, how to navigate that. Here we go. How to navigate that shit. This is what I want because I'm sitting here watching it happen, and I'm watching $100 million every couple of days get just sucked from the liquidity of our community that the teams building rely on to build their freaking project, right? So I would love it if everyone would just stop aping into hyped shit. Like, get verification of the team for one. Like, the team should be friggin' doxed. And if they're not doxed, the only way a project should get away with having any success not being doxed is to have evidence of building. Like, show what you're friggin' building. Show it next week having built more. Show that there's evidently a team working on that. Like, be more transparent about what's going on. Don't just have a website, a crappy white paper and a roadmap. No white paper for most NFT projects. Like it's a roadmap on a website. If they're anonymous, they should show a lot more evidence before anyone takes them seriously. But the problem is hype will always attract people. Hopefully it only attracts the absolute noobs, because everyone in NFTs starts to do a little bit more due diligence and demands more from the teams. And then you start to see teams like us, Black Eyed Galaxy, Metaguardians, all these people who are actually building real games, and can show you what they're building day in, day out. And you can talk to the team and ask them whatever you want. You can see their faces. People who have evidence of that. Like we can show that we've raised $500,000 and spent $500,000 building to this point over 6 months. That's the exact opposite of a rug pull, right? Like we are pre NFT drop, pre IDO, and we're already building and already spending and already showing evidence of the contrary to the dangers out there. And it would be nice if everyone would just do a little bit more due diligence and be a little bit harsher on the projects they invest in, and we wouldn't lose so much money from the space. The only thing that saves us is the fact that so much money is coming in, right? Like it's the astronomical growth of the space that allows half of that growth to be sucked out by bad actors. So yeah, everyone needs to get a little bit smarter, but it's happening, I think.
Awesome.
Yeah,
and as we wrap up here, we're starting to wind down, but we still got a few minutes. Logan, why don't you tell us? I'm curious just to know a little bit more about the racing game and what you guys are looking to do there. There's so many possibilities when it comes to racing. So, yeah, what are you looking to do?
Yeah, here is like we are having like a huge book that we can write whatever story that we want to write. So I'm going to give you some highlights about what we are aiming to do. First of all, we want to create like a scholarship system when you can, if you are like a big whale or a user with a lot of money, you can buy a ship and then you can rent it to another guy that can participate in tournaments like for you. It's like you have a car and you rent it like to be an Uber or something else. So this is a good concept. Also, we are aiming to create tournaments, and here is like we want to go from crypto world to real world, like hosting some esports tournaments. We are aiming and to create like partnerships with good esports companies, and also try to get like these Twitchers or YouTubers that can play our game and show the world like our thing. Also, we are aiming to attach cosmetics to the racing ships. Like you can pimp your own ship, for example, and also we are trying to adapt it like in the best way. For example, we can have his ship with kangaroos on it and crazy images. So this can be huge. I think like the best thing that we are also aiming is like we want to make the users that they can build their own racetracks. So, for example, we are going to deploy a good system for users like can create a racetrack in an icy planet, lava planet, or wherever they want to. So I think like this, we are trying to aim the concept of create to earn, for example, like users can donate in DAO token or for the race that they have been built. So yeah, this is like we are trying to approach every single aspect to make this a successful game.
Wow, I love that. That sounds really familiar, doesn't it, Will? Where the esports, the renting out, the NFT. That's awesome.
Well, I think it's super important. I think these things are fundamental traits of future NFT games or future games. I shouldn't say NFT games, just future games, right? Like everything's going to be player-owned assets in the future. I strongly believe that. I think what's probably likely to happen is that, I mean, if you look at it from a big company perspective, right now, like the battle is, we don't want to give up revenue. That's what a big company says. Don't give up revenue. Why are you giving up revenue to the player base? That's dumb. But there's 3 billion gamers on the planet, and what's the most played game? Probably 100 million. 3% of the gamer market. Which, what if the most played game got 30% of the gamer market, 20%, or 10% even? Tripled the size of the biggest games today? Then it would be worthwhile making a 50% redistribution of revenue between you and your gaming community through NFTs. So I think that's what's going to convince them. Um, my phone just started playing music there. I don't know what was going on. I think it was on Twitter. um, yeah, yeah. So I think that's going to change the minds of the big studios, and I think all the games in the future will be player-owned assets because it will be stronger for their economy, and it's just going to be an expectation, and they're going to figure out other ways of increasing the monetization of that for the businesses. Obviously, they'll do that sort of stuff. But things that were just mentioned are going to be key to that. Players need to be able to, use other people's owned assets. That swapping is going to be very big across the metaverse, I guess.
Yeah, and it's interesting that the. Oh, go ahead.
Oh, sorry, I was going to say, and the esports part, obviously, yeah, that's it. That's that's the sport dimension of what we're building. Esports is freaking huge. It is. I think that's the fastest growing sport on the planet. It's going to be the biggest sport on the planet, if it's not already the biggest sport on the planet. So esports in play to earn, everyone should be gravitating towards esports. We should be gravitating towards what's done, like what's the best things in the industry. How does the industry work? We should be doing that. A lot of what's been built just started within crypto. It was like, okay, here's some crypto function. Let's gamify it. That's been done. We understand a lot of that, and there will still be innovation there. But now it's okay. Let's build great games and put the crypto element in there, and that means esports for a lot of people.
And just a reminder to everyone, obviously, Logan, to catch up on what's going on with the project. I just read an article on Medium. I know you've put up a quite a good article up there, which goes through the game. You actually can see some of the gameplay. It's kind of like a little pod racing sort of setup, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, many things here. I want to thank James here because James is our content, video, and everything creative guy, and I love him because he always delivered the best thing ever. So thanks, James, for that. About this is, yeah, we are like showing weekly demos and almost like giving away every information that we have to our user base, so they know we are having like a working product. By next week, if everything goes okay, I want to host like some sort of small AMA with a bunch of users from our server. You are also invited, so we can race and they can test the game and also know what we are building and to feel it and to have the hype of racing. So yeah, this is like the main things that we are having delivery. We are delivering next week. Also, I want to mention by Monday, I think, I think probably I am, probably I'm not, 50-50. We are trying to start actions about MK2 ships. MK2 ships are ships that we use in the game to mine asteroids. We are deploying action for that in order to get some funding for Ukraine war to help the guys out. Because our CEO is from Ukraine and also our game developer is from Ukraine, so we are like raising funds to help them out and to do some charity.
That's so good. Good on you. And
Cheers.
I am super excited to play this game. I cannot wait to race this game. I want you to do a tournament. We're going to do a tournament early April, like a test build tournament. One fully fleshed fighter in many different skins, and you do a bit of a global tournament with some prizes and stuff. I'd love you guys to pair up with us and do something similar. At our events and see what we can do there. But I cannot wait to play your game. That is such exciting news. I love that. That got me pumped. I love it. Great.
Thanks.
Man, I
I
want to play it.
Sorry, I got to mention one more thing. Is like we have been testing everything about the game, so I can play versus Australia without any lag or ping. So I think this is also huge because we can play like in real life without any connection problem. So yeah, this is also a really, really good thing that we are building on.
That is awesome. Man, when is this? So next week we're jumping into a spaces while we are playing. Are you going to be recording the video feed for any of these matches?
Yeah,
These
yeah, I
races?
probably, yeah, sure, I will. I will not put my webcam because they are going to see my concentration phase. So, but still, I'm going to try to get it on full HD in order to deploy it through the different social media.
Man, that is so exciting. I can't wait for that. Yeah, I'm pumped.
No, you can 100% count me in on that too. I am definitely doing that because I owe Will an ass kicking. Because speaking of which, you can actually test our game right now, can't you, Will? How does everyone do that?
Yeah, sure. If you own a bloody face, you can just go to the fightlegends.io website and click on game demo, and you'll register with your email, and it'll automatically send you a download link. Then you'll be able to install and play the test build as we develop it and update it week in, week out, which is really cool. So jump in and give us feedback, challenge us to a fight. Fight games haven't figured out how to not do regional without, I guess, noticeable lag at the higher end of gameplay. Button bashing might not notice really, but with fight games, it's very difficult because of the sort of the frame rates and stuff. So like the frame rates of the attacks, like a 3-frame attack is far too quick for lag, for small lag issues. So it will be difficult with overseas people, but I don't care. Come and fight me. And we've got people in every region, so come and fight us. We'll also do an event and get Black Eyed Galaxy along, and we'll challenge each other to fights. So, yeah, let's do this. This is awesome. I'm so glad we get to start playing our games against each other. What a nice thing. I haven't seen a lot of that in the space. I haven't seen any of that in the space, to be honest. I don't know how much has been done there, but I'm not seeing a lot of games playing each other's games against each other, like game teams, and making a big fun thing about it. Like, if we keep doing this, we can raise some money for charity if we get a bit of a following, get some good teams on board. I love it.
Streamed at Twitch and stuff like that. Yeah, we're ready to do that on Fight Legends Media. So
Hell yeah.
absolutely.
Let's go.
Well, speaking of Fight Legends
Let's
media,
see.
if anyone actually wants to see some of the gameplay, you can see Will, he did beat me. I'm not happy about it, but don't worry. Like he said, you can play continually and there's always updates. So we've actually had an update where we've got a switch throw now. So Will knows my weakness and what side my weakness is. But now I've got a throw where I can jump over to the other side. And that got updated last week, ladies and gentlemen. So, he's pretty much fucked now. So if you want to check that out, go over to Fight Legends Media. But Sean, what else you got for us, mate?
Oh, wait,
Yeah,
sorry, Sean. I just would like to challenge you one.
yeah, you got to clap back.
I want to fight you now after this. Let's fight. You're recording it. I'm going to bash you and you have to upload it before you go to bed.
No.
Oh, you can't say no. You're fired.
Mate, I can't go to sleep with tears in my eyes.
So you do have a losing streak to fix with this Black Eyed Galaxy race, Wombat. Age of Empires, that was a joke. So let's see if you can race space pods better than you can fight wars and fight fighters.
Well, just quickly, Logan, I seen in the controls that there's a fire button. Does that mean I can shoot his racer down, mate?
Yep. Yep, and also by pressing the letter X, you are going to throw bombs behind you, the same as Mario Kart. Whenever you throw bananas, you are going to throw a mine or similar to a bomb, and if he race over it, he's going to explode. So, yep, this is fun.
Well, Logan, that's my department right there, buddy. As you've seen, Wombat expects to be behind me, and that's why he's asking if we can shoot things.
Well,
But I'm glad I can lay some bombs on the track for you, Wombat.
yeah, that's okay. You'll need them, brother. You'll need them.
All right, guys. Well, thank you very much, Logan, for hanging out. We're all looking forward to Black Eye Galaxy and all the stuff that we've been talking about, being able to play the demo. And yeah, thank you very much for hanging out. Thank you, everyone, for the questions. Make sure to follow us and Black Eye Galaxy. And last words before we head off.
Thank you, all of you guys. Thank you, Logan. Thank you, Sean and Wombat, for hosting. Wombat, fuck you. I'm going to smash you in Black Eye Galaxy. And thank you, everyone that came. I hope everyone keeps coming back and playing our games.
Absolutely. All right. Well, we'll see everyone next time. Don't forget to like, follow, and retweet everything. And we'll see you next time.
Thanks, guys.